North America, 10 million years ago. A creature ruled these lands that should have conquered the world. It was bigger than a grizzly bear, stronger than a lion, built like a tank with jaws that could snap bones like twigs. For millions of years, it was the king. And then, it vanished. Every single one. Gone. The history books will tell you it was natural, evolution, survival of the fittest. But what if I told you there's a secret they're hiding? A war that changed nature forever. And the truth is buried in the bones. Scientists call it Epicyon haydeni, the bone crusher. 300 pounds of pure predator. A head as wide as a lion's. Teeth designed to crack through bone and marrow. It ruled an entire continent for millions of years. But today, you see only wolves, coyotes, foxes. The giants? Erased from existence. Here's what they tell you. The giant dogs went extinct because they couldn't compete. But here's what they don't tell you. The giant dogs were winning. They were perfect. They were unstoppable. Until something crossed the bridge from Asia. Something that played by different rules. Something that brought weapons the dogs had never seen before. And when the war was over, only one side walked away. Let's go back to the beginning. 10 million years ago, North America belonged to the dogs. There were three families competing for the throne. The Hesperocyanines, the Borophagines, and the canines. 3 evolutionary experiments, 3 different strategies, but only one would survive. The Borophagines were the giants, the bone crushers. They started small, just like the others, but over millions of years, they grew and grew and grew. Why? Because they discovered a secret. While other predators left bones behind, the Borophagines ate everything. Meat, skeleton, marrow. They extracted every single calorie from their kills. It was the ultimate efficiency hack. And it allowed them to grow bigger than any dog before or since. Epicyon was the king of the bone crushers. Imagine a pit bull, now multiply it by 5. 300 pounds, jaws that could crush a cow's skull, a body built like a wrecking ball. For millions of years they dominated. The Hesperocyanines? Extinct, outcompeted, erased. The canines? Small, weak, barely surviving in the shadows. The Borophagines ruled the continent. They were the apex, the final form, the evolutionary endgame, or so they thought. Because while the giant dogs were celebrating their victory, something was watching from across the ocean, something that had been evolving in secret, something that was about to change everything. The Bering Land Bridge, a strip of frozen land connecting Asia to North America. For millions of years, it was closed, impassable. But then, the ice shifted, and the bridge opened. The felids were coming. The ancestors of lions, tigers, saber-tooths. They had been evolving in Eurasia while the dogs ruled America. And they brought something the dogs had never seen before. Arms. Think about it. A dog is a mouth on 4 legs. To kill you, a dog has to bite you. That's the only weapon. But a cat? The cat has 5 weapons. 4 paws with retractable claws like switchblades, and a mouth with fangs longer than any dog. But here's the real secret. The secret the history books won't tell you. Cats have rotating wrists. Dogs? Their wrists are locked. Built for running straight, but cats can twist, grab, grapple, wrestle. When a cat attacks, it jumps on your back, digs in its claws, wraps its arms around you, and delivers a kill bite to the throat. It's fast, it's brutal, and it's over in seconds. The dogs had never seen anything like it. The giant dogs were built for marathons. The cats were built for assassinations. And when the 2 strategies collided, only one could survive. At first, the cats were just another competitor. They hunted the same prey, walked the same lands, but they played by different rules. The giant dogs would chase their prey for miles. burning thousands of calories, wearing it down until it collapsed from exhaustion. Then they would feast. It worked, but it was expensive. The cats. They hid in the trees, the tall grass, the shadows. They waited, silent, invisible, and then, boom! One jump, one bite, one kill. They spent seconds of energy, not hours. And here's where the story gets interesting, because the giant dogs were specialists. They had evolved to be the biggest, strongest, most powerful predators on the continent. But that specialization became a trap. They were too big to chase small prey, too slow to catch fast prey, too heavy to hunt efficiently. They needed giant animals to survive. Prehistoric camels, ancient horses, massive herbivores. And the cats? They were hunting the exact same animals, but they were doing it better, faster, quieter, more efficiently. The food started disappearing. The giant dogs tried to fight back, but they were built like tanks, slow, heavy, clumsy. The cats were ninjas, fast, agile, deadly. It was an evolutionary trap. The bigger the dogs got, the more food they needed. But the bigger they got, the harder it was to catch the food. It was a death spiral. One by one, the giant species began to starve. Epicyon, the bone crushers, the kings of North America, gone. But here's the twist. The story doesn't end with extinction. Because while the giants were dying, the small dogs were watching. The canines, the ancestors of modern wolves, they were the ones who never went all in on size. They stayed small, fast, flexible. And when the cats arrived, the small dogs realized something brilliant. We can't fight them alone. They're too strong. So they changed the game. They focused on teamwork. A tiger hunts alone, but a wolf? A wolf brings the entire family. They focused on endurance. A cat sprints for seconds, then collapses. But a wolf can run all day. They focused on adaptability. When big prey disappeared, they hunted rabbits, birds, fish, whatever it took to survive. The giants died because they refused to change. The wolves lived because they evolved with the times. And here's what the history books won't tell you. The wolves didn't just survive, they thrived. Today, wolves live on every continent except Antarctica. They've adapted to forests, deserts, tundras, mountains. They're one of the most successful predators on Earth. Meanwhile, the giant dogs? Fossils, dust, forgotten. So here's the truth they don't teach you in school. Nature tried to create giant dogs, and it succeeded. For millions of years, they ruled the world. But when the cats arrived, the giants had a choice, adapt or die, and they chose pride over survival. The small dogs, they chose survival over pride. They became the wolves we know today, lean, fast, smart, adaptable. Size means nothing if you can't evolve. Strength means nothing if you can't adapt. The giants fell because they stayed rigid. The wolves survived because they stayed flexible. Nature doesn't reward the biggest, it rewards the smartest. If you want to see how baboons turned from prey into warriors, check out our Baboons versus Lions video, where we explore how troop tactics and collective aggression allow these primates to fight back against apex predators. Click the link now to watch.